Hello and welcome to our crash course on the current humanitarian crisis surrounding forced migration. This course will focus on two specific and closely related subgroups of forced migrants, refugees and asylum seekers. While many of these individuals come from just a few select regions, the issues that originate in those regions are felt globally. The impact of the large-scale migration of refugees and asylum seekers is felt in many aspects of life, from the environment to how people conduct their everyday life. Before we get started, I'll quickly define a few key terms that will greatly assist in the understanding of the issue. Firstly, a refugee is an individual who has fled their home nation out of a well-founded fear of persecution to escape war or natural disaster, and has been granted refugee status by a host nation. An asylum seeker is very similar to a refugee, however an asylum seeker has yet to be granted refugee status or asylum by the host nation. A forced migrant is a broader term that refers to any migratory movement in which an element of coercion exists. This term primarily accounts for refugees, asylum seekers, internally displaced people, trafficked and smuggled people. Furthermore, a common and useful distinction that can be made between these groups is conflict and climate-induced forced migrants, as this distinction is crucial to understanding and reducing the flow of forced migrants. Data gathered by the UN Refugee Agency, or UNHCR, allows us to easily identify trends that highlight the severity of the issues surrounding forced migration and refugees and asylum seekers. Over the course of a decade between 2007 and 2017, the number of refugees and asylum seekers has almost doubled, from 12 million in 2007 to almost 23 million in 2017.
People leave their traditional lands for a variety of humanitarian, economic and political reasons. In some cases, such as in Myanmar and the Gaza Strip, several uncontrollable influences have caused people to flee for their safety and for better outcomes elsewhere. Recently, also, environmental issues and sudden disasters have been affecting vulnerable populations around the world and are becoming an increasingly important security issue. The influx of refugees at any location can cause a variety of problems, especially because the vast majority of refugees are hosted in developing countries. At present, the largest refugee settlement in the world is in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh, which hosts 1 million people in its main encampment and its surrounds. The sheer density of refugee settlements around the world represent not only a massive humanitarian crisis, but the huge consumption of resources and the environment in order to support human living. Settlements are a major cause of disruption. The negative impacts that have been observed in the environment are the increasing salinity of water bodies and soils, soil erosion, desertification, deforestation, conflict with animals, air and noise pollution, and water contamination. Other issues associated with refugee populations are the competition for natural resources such as agricultural land and water, jobs in towns and cities, social and economic burden, and straining local infrastructure. However, this is never as much of a problem as is the hostility refugees are treated with by local inhabitants.
Are immigrants really taking our jobs? Now, in this section, I will be discussing the ongoing question of whether migrants really are taking all the jobs off of Australian-born residents. Through my research, I have found that this statement and theory is not entirely true, and immigrants may in fact help the Australian economy. Immigrants currently only take up about 1% of the workforce, leaving the rest to be made up of Australian-born residents. Australia's current unemployment rate sits at approximately 5.4%, which means that immigrant workers are actually helping the economy. In saying this, Australia is known to have a fantastic skilled migration program, which is aimed at attracting migrants who will contribute most to the Australian economy by filling up job positions where there are no Australians available to work. This tends to mean that in some cases, a skilled migrant may have a better advantage at receiving a job offer compared to an Australian-born citizen, as a migrant may possess skills that the Australian does not. This could be due to the different education systems and experiences that each individual is exposed to. As shown in research, many overseas countries have much better rated education systems than we do in Australia. So, as shown, the theory is not entirely true, as although skilled migrants can be preferred in some job positions, the percentage is still very small compared to the Australian-born citizens in the workforce.
Aside from worrying about a lack of jobs due to immigration into Australia. As a country, we must first determine what should be done to help people that are trying to enter our borders. With Australia being one of the safest, happiest, and most reputable countries in the world, there is no wonder people are trying to come here to start new lives. There, however, has been considerable debate as to whether there are realistic threats to our country when asylum seekers are welcomed and moved here. Already dealing with cultural language and bias towards these people, a study was done in 2017 that shows that 48% of Australians believe that we already have too many refugees living here and that the number should be decreased. The Australian Labor Party opened up detention centres located in the Pacific Ocean, mainly on Nauru and Manus, to detain refugees and make sure they can't illegally enter the country. These detention centres are full of people who have been trafficked or tried to enter Australia through the ocean. Some of these people have been on the islands for up to 10 years, dealing with harsh conditions that we would never be able to imagine. To combat this global population challenge of too many asylum seekers, immigrants, and internally displaced people, we have to figure out how to relocate those who need it safely. The main points that we have covered in this crash course are the rise of refugee numbers over the last 15 years, reasons people may be fleeing their countries, the economic and environmental impacts, the stresses that can come from refugees resettlement, such as a lack of jobs, and the issues that have arisen from relocating refugees from Australia to the Pacific. Thank you.